Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hailey here, and today I want to talk to you about some tips that I have for picking a college. So obviously admissions are around the corner, especially for transfers. Freshmen, you probably already got your admissions decisions. I want to talk to you about the top things you should consider. Take it from someone who has just gone through school for a year. There are a lot of things that I wish that I would have given more thought that I didn't even know would be something that was on my radar. There are things that I wish that I would have considered before I made the decision. So I'm going to tell you guys about that. And then also just some words of encouragement and inspiration because I know that this is a really confusing time. So let's jump right in. Okay, so the first thing that I have on my list is housing. The reason that housing is such a big deal and the things that you want to think about is because this is where you're living. And depending on where the school is, depending on the area, this may shape your perspective of the school differently. So, you definitely want to consider, obviously, the cost of housing. Not just on-campus housing, but also off-campus housing. Because most likely at some point you're going to have to move off of on-campus housing. You're going to have to move into the surrounding area that is near the school. So you really want to be aware of how much it costs to live in that area. Sometimes it's not anything that you're not used to. Other times, especially if you're coming from out of state into a new area, maybe the numbers, seem astronomical. The other things that you may want to consider are location and proximity to campus. Right now you're living on campus, most likely your first year you're living on campus. So it doesn't seem like that big of a deal because you're living on campus. But once you start moving off campus, you have to think about how you're gonna get there. So transportation, maybe you have a car, maybe you don't, maybe you need to walk, maybe you need to take public transportation. Do you feel comfortable doing that? Are you compromising your quality of living? If you're going to live closer to a school, you're gonna live pretty close to campus, but you have to have 6 or 7 roommates in order to be able to afford it. Is that really the life you wanna be living? Is that really an environment that is conducive to studying? These are things that you wanna think about. Another really big factor that honestly probably doesn't get as much attention as it should is the crime rate of the area that the school is located in. So safety is a big one, especially ladies. We need to be safe. It is a dangerous world out there. So you want to feel comfortable walking around campus, walking to and from campus, walking to and from class. Where are you living? Is it close? Is it in a good neighborhood? Is it somewhere that is safe? Is it somewhere where a lot of other students are living? Just keep these things in mind. Another thing that I think is a really big factor is how close the school is to your hometown. If you're somebody that you get homesick and that you love your friends and your family and your pets and it's just going to be miserable for you to be away from home, I wouldn't recommend it because that emotional turmoil combined with the rigor of school is not a good combination. You will probably have some type of emotional breakdown. Personally, I really love my family and my friends. My mom is my best friend, and I love my cats. This makes me sound like a cat lady. But I chose to go to UCLA, and it's been hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's been really hard. I'm 22, I'm not 18, so maybe it is a little bit easier for me because I'm a little bit more independent than freshman, but it's still hard. I still miss them, and it sucks that, on 3-day weekends, my friends get to drive 20 minutes away in their home, and I'm stuck here by myself. The next big one, which is probably really obvious, but, you should give this a lot of thought, is the cost of attendance and the availability of scholarships. Okay, I really want to address this for people who are considering going to UC because all the UCs cost pretty much the same. You're pretty much in the realm of $35,000. So when it comes to scholarships, don't ignore this, guys. Really take it into consideration. A lot of people may, brush it off or not pay it too much attention, especially if, maybe your parents are kind of helping you out. But it's something that you should pay attention to because if you're taking out loans, they add up quickly, okay? Take it from me. I'm currently $15,000 in debt and that number is climbing, okay? I still have at least another year of school to go and then I want to go to grad school. How much is that going to cost? The reason I say that this is really important is because you need to compare your different financial offers from schools. So if there's a school that you really like and it's great and it's somewhere that you've really wanted to go, but they didn't give you a great scholarship, don't just ignore that, because scholarships help you out a lot. Okay, another really big thing is the strength of your major. So maybe this is obvious to some people, maybe not, but is your school really strong in that field of study? Is this school going to open up doors and opportunities for you later on down the line once you graduate? Once you're trying to get into grad school, or once you're trying to enter the workforce, are those opportunities going to be there for you? This is a really big one because, if your school is kind of like, whatever about the major that you're really interested in, well, don't just brush that off. I've been saying that a lot in this video, but I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. It is very important, especially, you may not be thinking about it right now because you're still trying to complete your education, but once you are starting to look for jobs and internships, it may not be as easy as you think. It's a tough market out there. Something else that I want to talk about. Things that you think matter, that, trust me, don't matter as much as they seem to matter right now. Right now, you are probably highly emotional. You are thinking about your future. You're pretty young. It's hard. It's probably one of the first big decisions you've had to make on your own. So with that being said, I want to address some things. Number one is the prestige of the school. When it comes down to the nitty-gritty of things, especially if you're looking at UCs, they are all going to offer you an amazing education. No matter where you go, they are all going to give you a pretty darn good education. UC is known for having a world-class education system. It is globally recognized as one of the best school systems in the world. If you're like, oh my god, I got into UC Irvine and they gave me a $10,000 scholarship and they have this great program and they have these great internship opportunities, but I also got into UCLA and it's UCLA. I'm not telling you not to go to UCLA, but I'm telling you that just because it's UCLA doesn't necessarily mean that it's the better option for you. And this was a tough pill for me to swallow because Berkeley and UCLA are always competing with each other. And Berkeley was my number one school, right? But ultimately, I didn't choose Berkeley. And both Berkeley and both UCLA are names that hold a lot of weight. I personally think Berkeley may be a little bit more prestigious just because it is the older of the two universities. And I'm also from the Bay Area, so if you go to Berkeley, it's a big deal. But it wasn't the best choice for me, and I'm going to explain in just a minute. Okay, another thing is social scene. So a lot of people, when they go away to college, they're really excited, they're gonna be partying, they're gonna meet so many people, and they're gonna join X sorority, whatever. Okay, I'm telling you this is not a big deal. Why? Because no matter where you go, there's gonna be a party scene. Trust me. Trust me, there will be a party scene. If you want to party, you will make it happen. I really want to address the opinions of other people in informing your decision about where you want to go to school. And this is really kind of directed at your parents. So, like I said earlier, this is probably the first time you're making a really big decision about your life. That being said, it's your decision, it's your life, it's your education, it's your future. So, if you have 10 million people in your ear telling you need to go to this school, you need to go to this school, it's better, blah, 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 it's cooler, don't listen to them. Just because your parents all went to UCLA, your whole family went to UCLA, they want you to go to UCLA, does not mean that you have to feel like you should go to UCLA. You should do what is best for you. Now that the advice portion of the video is out of the way, I want to talk to you guys about my personal experience and my personal process choosing a school. I had dreamed of going to Berkeley. It was my number one school. I lived close to Berkeley. It was such a beautiful campus. I fell in love with it. I love Berkeley. I love the culture. And still, I think Berkeley is an amazing school. But I didn't end up going to Berkeley. Why? Why did I choose UCLA, which was not my first choice, over Berkeley, despite the fact that I got into my number one choice? So this really came down to the fact that Berkeley could not offer me what I needed. Berkeley is a very special environment. It is very different from a lot of colleges out there. Berkeley could not guarantee me housing at all. In fact, when I spoke with the representative from Berkeley, she told me that she knew personally of several transfer students who were homeless. That does not fly with me, okay? I cannot be homeless. And the fact that Berkeley couldn't offer me any type of student housing was a problem because the cost of living in the Bay Area is so high. This is one of the most expensive places to live in the world. There's no way that I could afford to pay rent in Berkeley. And there's no way that I could commute from San Jose to Berkeley. The traffic is insane. That would be like a 2 to 3 hour commute one way, and that just wasn't gonna work. The next thing is that Berkeley did give me a scholarship, but UCLA gave me a better scholarship. Berkeley gave me about $6,000. UCLA gave me about $10,000, including a free health insurance plan. So that was like very, very attractive to me. One of the next big factors was that Berkeley, like I said, very special environment, not very safe. I participated in the Berkeley Summer Experience, which is like a weekend we spend at Berkeley. They kind of help you with applications and stuff like that. And there is a big homeless community. I'm not, trying to say anything bad about homeless people, but a lot of these people are on drugs. A lot of these people will pickpocket you. A lot of these people will harass you even on campus. People will be begging for money. And like I said, I live near Berkeley, so everything that happens on Berkeley is on my local news. And the one thing that stuck out to me was this one time I was watching the news and they were talking about how a student was robbed at gunpoint in front of the dining hall. Okay, big issue for me. So especially as a woman, it's just not gonna work. I need to feel safe. UCLA, on the other hand, it's right next to Bel Air. It's a very safe community. It's a very safe city. Westwood, it's not really a city, I guess it's more of a town. So ultimately, even though I had dreamed of going to Berkeley for so long, I did end up choosing UCLA. This decision was not easy. I was still kind of upset because, not that anything's wrong with UCLA. UCLA is an amazing school and I know people would die to go here and I'm very grateful to go here. But Berkeley was something that was just in my mind for so many years that it was kind of hard to accept the fact that I still said no to them. But now that I've gone to school here, I'm very happy that I did. Sometimes doing the adult thing isn't always fun. And I think that going to UCLA and not Berkeley was the adult thing for me to do because UCLA just had so much more to offer me. And even though my heart was with Berkeley, my head was with UCLA, and I'm a very logical person, so I had to go with UCLA. So I just want to let you guys know that if you're in a situation where you're making a decision that is kind of not what you had planned, it's gonna be okay. I can't tell you what to do with your life. Your parents can't tell you what to do with your life. Your friends can't tell you what to do with your life. Only you know what you need to do with your life. So if you're struggling, it's okay to have a conversation with yourself. If that conversation means making a pros and cons list about which school would be better for you, great. If that means locking yourself in your room for an entire weekend and crying, so be it. That's what you need to do in order to come to your decision. So I support you guys 100% in what you do. I'm confident that, no matter what you guys do in life, you'll be successful. So thank you all so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, welcome, by the way. And I will see you guys next Saturday at 3 p.m. Bye.